Hi, this is Peter. Been a bit concerned lately that my application AVX hasn't been getting the respect that it deserves, and I always heard that if you want to earn respect, you find the biggest guy in your yard and give him a big beating, and then you'll earn everybody's respect. So I'm about to give a bit of a beating to the most popular two assistants on Google Play by downloads, which is Assistant and Skyvi. So bear with me, and while I show you why you should be using AVX instead of either of those applications, just because they're severely lacking in the sort of features that you'd be looking for in a virtual assistant. The first thing I want to just cover is activating your assistant. With AVX, you can double tap your home key from anywhere and bring AVX to the front, and you can't do that with either of Assistant or Skyvi. Also, with AVX, when you have it in the dedicated car mode, you can wave your hand in front of the proximity sensor to bring it to the front. Doesn't matter what's going on, even if the screen's off, and neither Assistant or Skyvi have that option. So those are just some initial differences, but let me go through a few different things, and you'll see how the differences stack up. Okay, let's start with just making a phone call to a contact. So this is Assistant. Call Peter at home. I notice it takes a long time because on their setup it actually has to go out to their servers and determine what I've said to figure out which contact it is, and this can take a long time, and especially if you have a lot of contacts, it takes a while, and so it's sitting there, and you're wondering what the hell's going on. It's taken a long time just to do this.
There are multiple contacts with that name.
Okay, so
which one should I call?
Basically here it's come up with 3 contacts named Peter. Well, first of all, those other 2 contacts, obviously me in the middle, Peter Muller, the other 2 contacts, they exist in my address book because I've emailed those people, but I don't actually have contact records for them. There's no way to turn that off in Assistant, whereas in AVX you can select which groups, contact groups are being used, and it won't actually show those other contacts. Also in AVX you can go ahead and set certain people to be ignored, so you'll never actually use them when you're referencing just by a first name. So anyway, that's basically how that works, and if I tap on Peter now, obviously it's going to call that. Something else you can't do with Assistant is you can't say using speakers, so have it automatically activate via the speakerphone. So it's just a shortcoming there. So let's go over and try the next one. Okay, this is Skyvi. Call Peter at home.
I didn't find Peter at home. Can you please repeat or spell the name? Or you can say, cancel.
Cancel.
Cancelled.
Okay, so with Skyvi, it doesn't understand when you say at home or on mobile or whatever, so you can't specify which particular one to call. And it certainly doesn't understand when you say using speakerphone or using speaker. So it's just basically shortcomings there. And again, generally that will come up, and I'm not going to go through all the process, but it'll come up and it's going to ask you which one to call if there's multiple records. If there's a mobile and a home or work number or whatever, it's going to ask you, and you're going to have to touch the screen to do it. So let's go on to the next thing. Okay, this is AVX.
Yes, Peter.
Call Peter at home using speaker.
To confirm that you want me to call Peter Muller's home number, please say confirm or OK.
Cancel.
I have cancelled this call.
So as you can see there, and understood that, you can say which number to call, and you can include whether you want the speakerphone to automatically come on, and there's call confirmation, which you can turn on or off in the settings. So you have every option that you could think of there with making a call hands-free once you've actually initiated the speak sequence. Okay, let's try sending a text. Text Peter, hey, what's up?
Please specify who you want to text.
Okay, same thing again. I actually have to touch the screen to choose.
This is the text we are going to send to Peter Muller on mobile number. Hey, what? Ass up. Is this right?
Yes.
All right. I'm sending this message.
Okay, so basically that one does it, but you can't go and add anything extra to the message or whatever, and for some reason it put a space after the apostrophe in there, which messed up the message a little bit. Alright, let's go on to the next one. Text Peter, hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up? To Peter Muller. Sending message.
Okay, so that one basically sends a message here without too many problems. And this is AVX.
Yes, Peter.
Text Peter, hey, what's up?
Your message has been sent to Peter Muller.
Okay, so one thing I want to explain here, when you see the 4 different options showing up there, that's what comes back from the voice recognition, because oftentimes what happens with the Google voice recognition is that it's not exactly sure what you're saying sometimes, so it gives you back as many options as you want to allow you to pick through to see which one is the best. So if it's messing up with what you said, I make it so my software brings back 4 options, and you can change that in the settings so how many you would have it bring back, and it means that you don't have to speak quite as accurately, and it'll generally pick through and find something that it understands. So that's what that's for there. Okay, so for the 3 applications, they all sent a text message, but the difference is on the Assistant one, it doesn't put a copy of the message that you created in your outbox, so you can't go back to your regular text messaging app and see that you sent that message, which is kind of lame. And Skyvi does that, but Assistant doesn't, and obviously AVX does it, otherwise I wouldn't be telling you that. Alright, next thing, let's do some math. Calculate 25 times 18. Thinking, come on. Why is it taking so long? Oh.
25 multiplied by 18 equals 450.
Add 67.
I'm not sure I follow. Is there another way you could put that?
Okay, just to let you know, it doesn't understand if you want to continue your calculations by just, throwing in extra different operations on whatever your last result was. So I just wanted to show you that it doesn't work doing that. So on to the next one. Calculate 25 times 18.
My brain contains categories, but not one that matches your last input.
Okay, obviously this thing can't do basic math, or if it can, using the word calculators is not the one to use.
Yes, Peter.
Calculate 25 times 18.
450.
Add 67.
517.
Divide that by 7.
73.85714.
Okay, so you see with AVX you can go through doing multiple math and it just keeps calculating like you're using a regular calculator, and it's fast too because it's not going off to a server somewhere, it's doing it on your phone. So that's much nicer for doing calculations. Okay, let's try some events. Add new event, lunch on Friday at 12:30 p.m.
Sorry it takes so long.
Yeah, I'm sorry too.
Before we do anything, let's get you logged in.
Okay, so this is what happens with Assistant. You actually have to log into Google. I'm not sure why you need to do that, because it should be able to add stuff to your local calendar, but I guess it wants to add it via the web. If you add it to your local calendar on your Android phone, it automatically goes to Google, so I don't know why they've done it this way, but I'm not going to bother with that. Add new event.
What were we talking about again?
I don't even think you can schedule events with Skyvi, so I'm not even going to try.
Yes, Peter.
schedule lunch on Friday at 12:30 p.m.
Please give me the name of the next attendee you're done.
Complete.
Lunch on June 7th at 12:30 p.m. has been set.
Okay, so when you're scheduling an event with AVX, it will take you through all the details that you didn't provide up front, and at any time you can say complete or finish event to drop out, and I've got the abbreviated prompts on so it doesn't tell me all that because I know what it wants me to say, so it's much quicker doing it this way. But I could actually add attendees, and if I added the attendees they would receive an email to an invite to the event and so on. I mean, it's a lot more detailed, and that event goes in your calendar. And also too, you can go into the settings and you can choose which calendar your events go into out of the calendars on your phone or your Google calendars, because some people have multiple calendars. And if you're using an Exchange account, you can put it in your Exchange calendar as well, in any one of your Exchange calendars. So it's just so much more powerful. Okay, let's try some navigation. Navigate to the nearest McDonald's.
Here are your directions to McDonald's. Make sure you check the route before you leave.
Okay, so you see with this one, it doesn't just turn on navigation, it brings up the directions thing for Google Maps, and you actually still have to check it, and it just puts McDonald's there, and it's actually taken the apostrophe out for some reason, which will probably mess it up, and you're still going to have to go and press to get directions to go and do it. If you're in the car, this is just unusable. You can't keep touching the screen to do that. It's just pointless, so I won't even go any further with that. Navigate to the nearest McDonald's.
I'm unable to get your location. Please retry.
Okay, I don't know why it's not able to do that, but every time I do it, it just doesn't make a difference. It always comes up with the same thing, so I'm just going to stop there.
Yes, Peter.
Navigate to the nearest McDonald's.
Navigating to McDonald's.
Okay, so you can see it's basically immediately firing up Google navigation to do exactly what I asked for it. So I'm inside right now, so it may take a second to get the GPS again. But anyway, you see it basically works right away, and if I was outside, it would be getting it right away. So I'll skip on to the next thing. Okay, so apparently Assistant can do reminders, but it's in beta, so let's see how we go with that. On Sunday at 4 p.m, remind me to walk the dog.
I'm still working on it.
Yes, you are.
Does everything look correct? I will remind you to walk the dog at 4 p.m. on 3rd of June, 2013, Monday.
No. And the reason...
Okay, I won't do anything just yet.
The reason I... Stop that. The reason I said no was because I said on Sunday, remind me to walk the dog at 4 p.m. and it came up with Monday, which is today, so I meant the following Sunday. So obviously they've got problems in that, and so it's just not usable if it keeps making mistakes like that. So next one. Okay, I'm pretty sure that Skyvi can't do reminders, but it does say in there, try to find everything that I can do, so we'll give it a try. On Sunday at 4 p.m, remind me to walk the dog.
That is my favorite day of the week. Do you often use a computer there? Tell me your name. Say, my name is Human.
See, this is the problem with this application. When it doesn't understand something, it just rambles on about something or other, whatever, and tries to have a conversation with you to kind of cover that it's lacking so much in features. So, you know, I'm just calling it out. It's crap, basically. It can't do it. So simple as that.
Yes, Peter.
On Sunday at 4 p.m, remind me to walk the dog.
Please choose the best match for your reminder.
Okay, the reason why it does that is in case the Google voice recognition came back with some different things about exactly what the match was, it gives you the option to choose. And in this case, the first one was the right option.
Your reminder walk the dog on June 9th at 4 p.m. has been set.
And that is the correct day and the correct time, so obviously reminders work on this. On AVX. Okay, now I want to talk about reading your text messages, and that's something that Assistant can do. But one thing I've noticed, if you turn it on and then you try putting your phone into silent, which, you know, plenty of times during the day you'll do that, you would think, okay, is my phone silent? Is it going to read my text messages? So let's see what happens when I do that. So I'll actually send a text message, and you would think also too, when your phone's silent, it shouldn't talk to you, it should be quiet and maybe just show the text on the screen. Let's just see what happens here. Text Peter, hey, what's up? Waiting, come on.
There are a few matches for the name in your contact list.
Like I said,
which one do you want to text?
It's talking to me and it should be in silent mode. It's just not observing that. And in AVX you have the option to choose whether or not it observes silent mode. So, you know, by default it will observe it. So anyway, I'll do this.
This is the text we are going to send to Peter Muller on mobile number. Hey, what? Ass up. Is this right? Again.
Yes.
Okay. The message is on the way.
Okay, so we'll wait for the message to arrive. Let's see if it reads it. Actually, let me go to the home screen while it's doing that. See what happens here.
You have a new text message. Would you like me to read it?
Yes.
This is the new message from me. Text, hey what, ass up. End of message. Would you like to respond?
No. No.
Okay. It's saved with your other messages if you change your mind.
Really? Okay, so you see it basically ignored the fact that my phone is in silent mode and it's just talking anyway. So how can you possibly want to use that in a quiet environment? You think, okay, I'm going into a doctor's office or whatever and I've got the Assistant running on my phone. Do I have to go in and turn it off so it's not reading my text messages? It should automatically know that when you put your phone in silent mode, it should give you an option or something like that. And with AVX, you have all kinds of options what to do in silent mode. You can have it ignore the messages, you can have it hold the messages, or you can have it just display the messages quietly on the screen if you're sitting in like a meeting or something like that, you know. So again, this is just, it's just so basic, it just can't do anything really clever. Okay, Skyvi has the option to read text messages as well, so let's just turn it on. We'll always speak incoming text messages and we'll make it pop up on text messages. Okay, so let's just do that and we'll try sending a text message here. Text Peter, hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up? To Peter Muller. Sending message.
Okay, it's sent. I'll go to the home screen here, we'll see what happens. And again, my phone's still in silent mode. Okay, so it pops up there. It's not reading it to me, but it's at least displaying it, so that's good. So let's try taking it out of silent mode and try sending one. Text Peter, what's going on? Hey, that's interesting. There's an ad for Assistant there.
What's going on? To Peter Muller. Sending message.
It's not very fun when the competition is advertising in your app. Alright, let's go home here.
Message. What's going on?
Okay, so it pops it up, whatever, but you don't have any options on that. This is basically, it either pops it up as a dialogue and reads it, or it doesn't do anything. So you don't get a lot of choices, and you have to manually hit the button to reply, whatever. So anyway, That's how that works. So let's go on to the next one. Okay, in AVX, if I hit the menu, go into settings.
Your settings are displayed.
And go down to text.
Tap on a category.
Text and voice messaging. Reading messages option up here. I had it set to ignore because I was using the other apps to read the messages. So you have all these different options of how to read your messages here. And the prompt ones obviously will ask you if you want to hear the message and ask you if you want to reply to it. And then you've got speak, where it just speaks it right out. Whisper, where it and it'll come to the front. Whisper, where it actually reads it from the background. Display is where it will just come to the front and show it on the screen but won't actually speak it. And notify is where it will tell you there's a new message from the background and ask you if you want to hear it, and then once you're here it asks you if you want to reply. So I'll choose notify and prompt here, and I'll put my phone back in silent mode, and I'll send a text message. Text Peter, hey, what's up? You notice phone, it wasn't talking back to me then because I have it in silent mode. So we'll see, you wait for the message to pop up on the top of the screen there so we know it's come in. Okay, so there it is. Now AVX knows, smart enough to know that your phone's in silent mode, it doesn't want to read it right now, okay? And again, I chose it so it's not going to come to the front, it's just going to read it from the background. So what happens now is I'll take my phone out of silent mode and you'll see that'll cue it up to be read.
New text from Peter Muller. Would you like to hear the message?
Yes.
Hey, what's up? Would you like to reply to this message?
No.
Okay.
Alright, so as you see there, as soon as I brought it out of silent mode, it queued it up, it read it out. It didn't come to the front, so if I was doing something else, it isn't interrupting me, it's just basically talking in the background. And if you have music playing through one of your music players, it'll just pause that music briefly while it announces the message. And if you don't want to reply to it or whatever, once it's finished, it'll unpause the music and keep going. So it's, I mean, it really works smart in the background like that. And again, like I said, it obeys the silent mode on your phone, so it's just much more intelligent. Okay, I'm not going to go over too many more features, but what I wanted to show you was the settings that you have for Assistant. So basically, you know, you can upgrade it. It's $20 for a lifetime membership for this, so it's basically the same price as my paid version of AVX. They have a conversation mode, which is basically sort of like Skyvi, where you can talk to it like a chat bot or whatever. It's just, to me, it's just a waste of time. You really want to talk to a computer bot, whatever. It has shake activation, which AVX has. The SMS we talked about, share with your friends, just pops up an email. Voice, you can choose which different voices you have, and with AVX you can choose any third-party voice that you want to use with it, and this is the same. Activation here, you can choose the shake thing, and again AVX has that. Start from the status bar, that's so you can pull it down from the status bar and bring it to the front. Well, you don't need that with AVX because you can double press your home key. Voice activation, and that's basically you can say, hey Assistant, and you have to pay for that. AVX has that as well, that it runs in the background, and you can say at any time, you know, hey, and you can choose whatever name you want. This one you can't change the name, it's always Assistant. And then Bluetooth headset, and I tried this with a Bluetooth headset and it doesn't work the way it's supposed to, and so it just kind of messes up, and you can't talk through the microphone. So you can hear it through the headset, but it doesn't hear you. So anyway, that doesn't work. And then the other settings there, customization, you can change the appearance of it. Index contacts, I did that. Actually, when you do that, it sends all your contact names down to their server. I don't know if you really want to do that, but it's supposed to speed things up a little bit, and I guess it did a little bit. And again, this is one difference that they have over AVX, is that they have these different languages that you can choose from. Now AVX is only English, but with a recent addition I did, you can do all your messaging in any language that you have a voice for, or you have the voice recognition for. So this is one thing where you obviously, you know, Dutch, Spanish, Portuguese, I'm not sure what those other languages are, Chinese maybe, and Russian or something like that. So anyway, that's one thing that's better. in this if you want to speak in those languages. And then the last thing there, notifications, reminders. Basically, when you create one of those reminders that was wrong, you can do one other thing, is you can display all your reminders and you can delete all your reminders. You can't delete them one at a time, and you can do that with AVX. They have a scheduled briefing function that allows you to have a certain time in the morning come up with your news and your events and stuff for the day, and with the automated actions that you can do when AVX, you can do the same thing as you want. You can do it as many times as you want during the day. And if you want to get the automatic news or whatever with AVX, you can do it with a Twitter feed, because it can read your Twitter feeds. And birthdays, AVX has that through Facebook and Google+. And there's mental push-ups. I'm not sure, that's some sort of quiz thing that they've put in there just to entertain you. So that's pretty much it for Assistant. And of course their documentation here that they have, you know, just basic examples on the types of things that you need to do. But one thing that you need to know when you're looking at these applications is the more that you see in these different areas, it's an indication of how complicated the software is, you know. So if there's only a few little things in each thing, it means it doesn't do a lot. And specifically when you go into settings, if there's not very many things in the settings, then it means it doesn't have a lot of customization, and it probably doesn't have a lot of functionality. So anyway, that's a summary of Assistant. Okay, this is to summarize Skyvi. Now, when you go into settings for Skyvi, be shocked. All you can do here is add a Facebook account, add your Twitter account, look at the names that it's basically learned, which is sort of nicknames or shortcuts for the people that you're texting or calling. You can turn on the SMS options there for the speak and the pop-up, and an option there to keep Skyvi in the top notification bar there, and a timeout for seconds. I mean, those are the only settings that you can change on this app. I mean, you can't adjust anything else to customize it the way you want. It's just unbelievable how sad it is for the things that it's supposed to be able to do, that this is all it has. So, and likewise, if you go to the documentation here, this is all they have. Read text, find places, call friends, send a text. Oh, they're real voice text. Let me show you this in a second. I'll learn your name for shortcuts, and there are advanced features there which shows you a few things here. And what really gets me here is the last thing here. Try to find everything I can do. This is supposed to be an assistant. It's supposed to be helping you and saving you time. So it wants you to sit there and like talk to it forever and ever and try and figure out all the different functions it has. Why? Why doesn't it list the functions that it has so you don't have to waste your time trying to figure it out? I just don't understand. So let's try doing a voice text here. Real voice text Peter.
Hold and talk to send a real voice text.
Okay, so let me see. I'm driving along in my car and I want to send a real voice message to somebody. I've got to actually hold that button in while I'm talking to send it. It's ridiculous. Talk about, you just want to smack someone in the head. Anyway, we'll try it. Hi Peter, let me know if you get this message.
Sending real voice text.
Okay, so it gives you the option to cancel it there. And it's not going to read it back or anything because I've got this thing turned off that's not going to read messages. But basically it sends an MMS message with a URL attached to it that takes you to another web page that someone can listen to that message, and it also transcribes what
message sent,
what was in the actual text of it. So, and I see it didn't get it very right there. Anyway, it's not very clean.
From Peter Muller.
And
Would you like to hear the message?
Yes, that's AVX reading it from the background now.
Square bracket sent by voice. Hi hater, let me know if you get this message right. Square bracket quick listen. Skivip.com/KMFCS.
Yeah.
Would you like to reply to this message?
No. Okay, so
okay.
That's AVX reading it in the background. So anyway, basically to summarize, this Skyvi, I cannot believe, has 5 million downloads, and this is all it does. It's just a complete joke. So anyway, I'm going to go on now and talk about some other things that AVX can do that these other applications can't even do. Okay, I'm going to quickly go through a few other things that AVX has that these other applications don't have. So let's try, say, a location reminder.
Yes, boss.
When I get to Walmart, remind me to buy milk.
Your reminder buy milk when you arrive at Walmart has been set. Please be sure to leave your GPS on.
Okay, I pre-configured Walmart as an address, but if you want to use your contacts, you can actually use their address as their name or whatever, and it bases upon their home address or work address if you want to do that. But pre-configuring locations is easy to do. You can pre-configure your work and your home or whatever, so then you can just use those. So you can say, you can set up recurring ones. So you can say every time I arrive at work, enable Wi-Fi or whatever. And you can actually do a reminder, or you can do actions. Anything that the application can understand, you can set it up to automatically do it either at a time or based on a location. So those other applications don't even have anything like this. All right, let's try a voice message.
Yes, Peter.
Voice message, Peter.
New voice message to Peter Muller. Go ahead.
Hey Peter, let me know how things are going with your review here, or your video.
Sending the message. Your message has been sent to Peter Muller.
Okay, we'll see what happens when that comes in.
Voice message from Peter Muller. Would you like to hear the message?
Yes.
Hey Peter, let me know how things are going with your review here, or your video.
Would you like to reply to this message?
No.
Okay.
So you see there, I can do the whole thing basically after initiating it hands-free without touching the phone. You can use this in the car. It's just much better. Okay, let's talk about the wake mode, or the listening mode. So hitting the menu here, I can turn this on. Just turn wake mode on. And you can see it's basically activated. In a second, you'll get an indication, say I'm listening, and you get a notification in the bar there to say that it's on. Okay, so there you see it's listening there. So now if I'm off in another screen, I'll go back to home. Hey Android.
Yes, Pete.
What time is it?
It's 3:08 p.m.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Peter.
And you'll see it goes back to listening again. So I'll just turn that off again now. Okay, so that wake mode basically works, doesn't have to be in the front. You can be on another application. You can have the screen off. You can have the screen lock on. You can actually say disable screen lock, and it'll automatically take the screen lock off for you and turn the screen on, so you can go and do something with that wake mode. It's totally powerful, the stuff that you can do with that. All right, let's talk about car mode. Now these other applications don't even have a car mode, but I'll open it up, turn it on. You'll see in car mode you have all these different buttons here, and they're big, so you can see that when you're driving in the car or whatever, and they all do different things. And there's the ones with stars, you can customize them to do different commands. And then you can swipe left and right here. You've got your music control, and this with the latest version works with Google Play Music. At least those three buttons do there. You've got your call screen. You've got two different custom screens, so you could put something on here to text your wife. So maybe you drive along, you pass a certain spot, you can hit that button and text your wife, say I'm on the 405, I'll be home shortly, or whatever. Although you could do that with a location-based thing as well. And of course the text over here, when you're interacting with it, is bigger when you're in the car, and you can adjust that font size in the settings. So that's a nice feature. So if it's reading something out and you want to glance to see something, you can do that. Whereas, like I say, the other applications, they don't even have this. So that's basically a real quick summary of car mode. And again, you can change the orientation. Right now I've got it forcing portrait, but in the settings you can make it go to landscape or automatic, whatever you want to do there. So let's go out of car mode again. And the other thing I want us to talk about is works with your Bluetooth system. Oh, the proximity sensor. Let me show you that when you're in car mode and you're on like another screen here and you've got the screen off, right? So you're driving along in your car and you want to get the attention, just wave your hand in front.
Yes, Peter.
What time is it?
It is 3:10 p.m.
Okay, so you can see there, the proximity sensor just basically wakes your phone up, does that. The other applications, they don't have that. They don't have anything, hardly. Now, it works with your Bluetooth systems, and it will work with most in-car Bluetooth systems, and your mileage will vary because some of those Bluetooth headsets and stuff, they don't work that well with voice recognition and text-to-speech. But, you know, it's worth giving it a try to see how yours will work. Also, I have the profiles feature in there, which I showed you, where you can, well, I didn't show you, but in the settings here,
your settings are displayed.
Sorry, it's the interface section. Profile section, you can have all sorts of different profiles, and you can switch from one profile to the other, and all of the settings that you have set for each different type of thing that you're adjusting, they all change based upon the profile that you have selected. So you might have a work profile and a home profile, and there's a car profile, and there's a Bluetooth profile, and there's a wired headset profile. There's one for all sorts of different things, and you can use the ones that you want. So when it switches to that profile, it changes all the settings the way you want it, including, you know, whether it reads your text messages or whatever. So maybe you might want to have it when you switch to Bluetooth, it goes to the Bluetooth profile, and then everything turns on, and other than that, everything's off. So, I mean, it's just tons of power. There's another video I have that shows how to do all that. Anyway, so just to show you the power of this application, I was saying before, when you have an application, if you want to see what sort of power is there, look in the settings. So to see how many things there are, look at the interface section here, all the different things that you can adjust. And again, it's per profile. And then your device section, all the things that you can adjust for your device, you know, screen lock, the orientation, whether it's using Bluetooth or not, you know, calls, audio, miscellaneous, widget, announcements, contacts and groups in here. And I was saying before, if you wanted to choose which group it uses to look at your contacts, you can do that there. In your calendar, you can choose the calendars that where your events and stuff are stored in there, if it's an Exchange one or your phone one or whatever. Your alarms, you can choose the settings that you normally have for an alarm, whether it plays a ringtone or plays music. It can read your, sorry, tapped on the wrong one, email here. It can read and send email via different accounts, so you can set up all your different email accounts and it will read the incoming messages, plus you can send out email and you can choose which account to send it by, and you can have a default for all of them. Text messaging, there's all sorts of different options there. The voice message options that you have there, instant messaging, so it can work with Google Talk and other XMPP type messaging systems. It can read your Google Plus feed and your Facebook feed and your Twitter feed and also post for those. It interfaces with your Evernote account, so you can store all your lists and memos and your diary entries in Evernote. And of course, we talked about car mode and wake mode. There's a bunch of different settings in there. So there's just so many things that you can do, and it's just so far beyond what these other applications are doing. And I just cannot understand that so many people are downloading those apps and they're liking them, but writing good reviews about it. I just can't believe it. Anyway, that's the end of this video, and hopefully it's not too long. Thanks for spending the time and watching this, and hopefully you'll try this application out and you'll do the tutorial so you can learn about a lot more of the features, and hopefully you'll tell your friends and we'll start getting a little bit of notice and getting a little bit of respect. Thanks.